Assalamu alaikum. This is Mrs. Iman Atuf with you. Okay. Today we are going to start making illustration about Pygmalion of Act 1, 2, and 3. Now we are going to start with the main themes. The first theme we are going to discuss today is social class. When we speak about the play, you will find that you have, at that moment, you have three classes: the poor, the middle class or the working class, and the upper class. You will find that each class wants to upgrade, and the poor class wants to be higher class, and so on. Okay, the middle class wants to upgrade themselves and to be from the upper class. It represent You will find that clear in Eliza, that she wants to be from the upper class, from the middle class, to have her own flower shop and so on. And you will find that Clara and her mother, okay, wants to be from the upper class. Let's discuss it in details. Eliza, okay, you will find that Eliza, the way she's treated as a flower girl at Mrs. Higgins' house. If we compare the two ways that she was treated, at the beginning, she was wearing what? She was looking like a flower girl in the street, okay? Of course, she was not wearing well and so on. So the upper class, Clara, how Clara reacted to her, she even told her mother what? Don't give her money, okay? Let her go. Why you are speaking to her? It is useless to speak to her, okay? But this is how Clara, the upper class, treated Eliza, the poor class. At Mrs. Higgins' house, when Eliza was presented as an upper class person, how was Clara's reaction? She looked at her as a role model, okay? And she wanted to act, even when she spoke, she started to act her vocab, okay? Okay, so you will find this is how Eliza was treated as a flower girl, because as a poor girl, and the way she was treated represents what? The social class. The poor, you will find that the poor, and even Eliza herself, when she took a taxi, when she at the end of Act One, when she had money, what did she do? She took a taxi. Why? She wanted to act like the upper class girls, wearing a hat, okay, wants to have lessons. When she has an opportunity to have lessons, she went to Hagen's house and asked him to teach her. Yeah, but this is why, because the upper class girls took lessons or learn how to speak and so on. But you will find that the same time that the poor knows their limits. Okay, they knew that they knows well that they are not from the upper class, and this their limit, but they got a benefit of any situation. Like Eliza, when she was during the first scene in the rain, what did she do? When it started to rain, she started to sell more. Why? Imagine yourself in the rain. What you were going to do if you find someone selling flowers? You feel, you are going to feel sympathy. You will sympathize with the person and give him money. So she get benefit of this situation. Okay. And another example, when Doolittle knew that his daughter was at at Mr. Higgins' house, he didn't care whether his daughter will how how she would be treated, or how she's going to stay in a house of a single person alone, okay, or what kind of relation it will be. But he cared about what? Having money from the rich person to go and drink, okay. And even when he offered him 10 pounds, he took only five. This is what he owned, and only this is the only money he needed, okay, at that moment. Let's move to the other one. Higgins. Higgins represented what? Represented an upper class person. What did he do as an upper class person? He let the poor comes to his house, and what? pay money for give them money. In return, he record their accent. Why? To improve his work. So what did he do? He used the poor as a tool. Okay, as a tool to do what? To improve himself. And even Eliza, he took her to his house. Why? He used her as a tool also. Okay. But Miss Peirce, in Miss Peirce, you will find that she treated Eliza in two ways. At the beginning, when Eliza came and Ms. Higgins told her let her out, what did she do? She told her, "Haven't you told him that I came in a taxi?" So she wanted to act like an upper class. What was Mrs. Peirce's reaction? She, she told her, "Mr. Higgins doesn't care whether you come in a taxi or not." So she didn't respect her, or she didn't care about her feelings or anything like that. But you will find there was a turning point when Eliza was when Higgins decided to teach Eliza and present her in the party after 6 months. What did she do? At that moment, she took Eliza's side. How? By criticizing Higgins and told him if she was going to stay, where she was going to stay. You should um, should prepare a bedroom for her, okay, a private room for her. And if you have a girl in your house, so you shouldn't move in a pajama all the time. You should watch the way you are speaking, the way you are eating, and everything. Okay, يبقى at that moment she was at her side. Freddie. Freddie also represents the upper class. At the beginning, when Eliza was like a flower girl, he didn't notice her, okay? He didn't notice her. But when she was presented when she was presented at Mrs. Higgins' house, he fell in love with her and asked her to go with him or to give her a lift, okay? So the first theme is social class. The second one, appearance versus reality. Appearance versus reality. How you are going to discuss this theme? How? It's very easy. You are going to think about a person or the character you are going to illustrate as the outer appearance and the real reality, how they acted. Clear? Now, let's move to Mr. Higgins. Mr. Higgins, his appearance is like what? Yes, like an upper class person. Clear? But how he behaved, it was clear the way he is behaving from Mrs. Peirce when she criticized him by telling him don't wear the pajama inside the house, the way you are eating, the way you are speaking. So his outer appearance is like an upper class, but the way he is speaking or acting inside his house is not like an upper class person. And even when his mother, another example, when he went to his mother during her party or the day that she used to invite people at that time, at that day, his mother refused his attendance. How? Why? Because he was not behaving like an upper class person, and he embarrassed her. Okay. The second one, Clara and her mother. You will find that Clara and her mother was what? Were from the upper class. Okay. As a matter of fact, they weren't from the upper class, they were from the middle class, but they wanted to, or they cling, or they acted like an upper class by going to the parties and so on. So they cling to the upper class. Okay. How did they treat their appearance is like an upper class, but the reality was from middle class. Okay. Eliza, you will have two situations in Eliza. At the beginning, when she appeared like a poor girl, okay, and you will find that she was wearing her appearance. her clothes and everything is not like an upper class person, okay, like a poor girl or the working girl. But if you see the way she is thinking, the way she is behaving, not behaving, but the way she's thinking is not like a poor girl. How she sit and aim her to herself to have a flower girl, to have her own flower shop and sell flowers in it like a middle class person. And when she had an opportunity, she went to Mr. Higgins' house and asked him to teach her. Okay, so she has an aim and she's trying to fulfill this. But this is another example, the first example of Eliza. The other example, her appearance. The way she appeared is like what an upper class person, the way she's wearing, okay? So even Freddie, from her appearance, loved her. But when she knew how to pronounce the words well. Instead of saying, for example, ba- I don't remember any vocab, but the way she pronounced the vocab, the words or the letters, okay, it was correct, completely correct, like an upper class. But when she started to speak, what the subject she was speaking about, that her aunt died and she had a straw hat and she was the one who should take this straw hat and so on, okay. So when she spoke like a poor girl. يبقى her appearance like an upper class person, but her reality was from an poor class, okay. So this is Eliza. طيب. The third theme we are going to discuss today is female struggle. Female struggle. At that time, women wanted to prove themselves. How? Wanted to prove that they were able to support themselves. So they shouldn't be treated like dolls, just to wear nice clothes, perfumes, and hats, and move from one party to another, and speak a little about poetry and music and so on. Okay, but this is the way they should appear like, but they rejected this idea. Okay, so they wanted to prove that they were able to do or to work or they are equal to men. Okay, so you will find the first example is Mrs. Higgins. Mrs. Higgins, what did Mrs. Higgins do when her son Emil, okay, told her that he is going to teach Eliza, a female, okay, person, how to speak, and he's going for 6 months and he's going to present her in the party. How did she react? She was with her, gender اللي هي female, male or female, okay? So she was against her son for the sake of her gender. You got it? So she rejected the idea of treating Liza like a doll, and she spoke about the same way you will find that Mrs. Peirce thought about. How would happen to her after 6 months? How, at that moment, Eliza wouldn't be able to be a flower girl again, and at the same time, she won't have enough money to support herself or to live like an upper class person. يبقى he disturbed his life or he ruined her life, okay. So she was at her side. Another example, Miss Pierce, and I think we have said it before in social social class, okay. How at the beginning she treated Liza like a poor girl, okay, and when they started the bet, at that moment she refused the idea of using one of her gender, female, as a tool or as a doll, okay, or as a tool in the lab, and she rejected the idea, and she started to ask him to how to behave and how to wear and so on, and asking the same question, what would happen to her after the 6 months, whether she was going uh, to live or to live as a, she won't be able to live as a flower girl, so what would happen to her future. Eliza herself, okay, she supported herself by setting an aim to herself and found a way to achieve it. How? She all her aim in life is to do what? To have a flower shop. But she can't have a flower shop. Why? She needed money. She needed someone to teach her how to speak, because even if she had money and had a flower shop, she should speak in a different way, not like a flower girl from the street. So this is female struggle. So we have three female characters, and we are going to elaborate or to speak about it. Of course, I'm giving you hints or ideas, and you elaborate or you speak more about this idea, or illustrate the idea. Symbols. Okay, we have bath. When Miss Pierce gave Eliza a bath. A bath is what is like, is a symbol of removing all her past or everything that related to as is related to her previous life or to her self, her state as a poor girl. Okay, and even Eliza, after the bath, you will find that she asked Bekrin to tell her Miss Eliza, okay, not to tell her Eliza. And she behaved like an upper class person, okay? So it has a positive effect on her character. Burning her clothes. At the beginning, she asked, like burning her past, and at the beginning, Higgins asked to burn her clothes, and but later he said that we are going to keep it to remind Eliza with her past. Let's speak about main characters. Eliza, ambitious. How she is ambitious. She didn't. She didn't want to be or to spend all her life as a flower girl. She wanted to be an upper class person. You got it. So she has an ambition. She was ambitious. She has ambition in her life, and she found a way to. When she had found a way to achieve or to fulfill her aim, she got it, okay, by going to Mr. Higgins' house. Supporting herself, you will find it clear when she at Mr. Higgins' house, when all the time she's saying what? I'm a good girl, I'm a good girl. Why she's doing that? At that moment, you will find when Higgins started to criticize her, what did she do? She supported herself by convincing herself that I'm a good girl. You should. It means what? Nobody is as if it's a kind of collecting her ideas, collecting her courage to stand or to be against Higgins. Okay, but this is supporting herself, feeling with equality. Okay, how she felt with equality? She's not feeling like what, like any other girl. Okay, how I'm sorry, she was not feeling like a poor girl. She's feeling that I am feeling with equality. She didn't feel like that she's different. No difference between her and Clara. She's equal to Clara. She is equal to any person from the upper class. It is clear in what the idea of itself, of thinking of having an aim in her life, okay, presented that is clear or this present that she is feeling with equality to anybody. You got it? By asking about how much, not asking, the idea itself, to think that I'm going to have lessons or I'm going to have, this is my aim in life, so she's equal to anybody in the upper class or in the middle class. Another adjectives about Eliza: having dignity. it is clear when Higgins started to mock at her or to criticize her, she refused even to take lessons, even if it was her aim. But she wouldn't achieve her aim and leaving her dignity. Okay, so she said, "No, I am going to leave." At that moment, you will find that Higgins himself, he started to convince her to have lessons. Okay, streetwise, when Higgins offered her a piece of chocolate, it's clear in this situation. What did she do? She refused to take it. Why? Because he might drag her and so on. So at that moment, she refused the idea, and she didn't take the piece of chocolate until Higgins divided into two parts and took part of it. At that moment, she took it. Okay, good planner, of course, by planning the when good planner what by setting a plan to herself and how when she did what. Yes, when she heard Higgins telling Pickering his address, she memorized it, and it represent, you can say, this situation of intelligence, by the way. Okay, she a good planner by she memorized the address and she went to him. Okay, she is a good planner. Okay, opportunist, it is clear in the rain situation when she did what, when she asked people to buy, when it was raining heavily, she asked people to buy flowers from her. Okay, intelligent, of course we said it, that intelligent, when she remembered the address and something else, you will find that she has learned quickly. Okay, Higgins. Higgins. Wow, he is an arrogant. Arrogant. You know why he is an arrogant? Okay, you can say it that a clear example that he used the poor, okay, as a tool. You can say it in resist or arrogant. Okay, the way he acted is he used the poor as a tool to improve his work or to improve himself or to have his lab up to date and so on. Okay, resist, you can say that he is a resist and he is not resist. If you say if you agree that he's a resist, how he, as he used the poor as a tool and so on. Okay, if he is not resist by criticizing at his mother's house during the visitors were there. Okay, he criticized the way the upper class, the way they behaved. Okay, or the way they live their life as in general. How? By saying that we all speak about poetry but we don't understand anything about it, or we go to the parties but we don't understand the music and so on. So resist or not resist is according to your opinion. Well educated, of course, he is a well educated person, as he knew how to differentiate between any person or to identify his origin from the way he's speaking. uh, convincing, as when Eliza found that they were mocking at her and she refused to take even lessons. What did he do? He started to convince her. How? By thinking the way Eliza was thinking. Okay, how? Eliza wants to be wants to be an upper class person, and she wanted, why, to have taxes, to move in taxes from one place to another, to have chocolate, to go to parties, to wear well, and she might have a person from the upper class who will love her and marry her. So he told her, if you admit or accept being learned by me, you will do what? You will be able to move in the taxis from and have chocolate and wearing nice clothes and jewelry, and you might have a nice person who would marry you, an upper class person who would marry you. This is uh, convincing. Wise, wise, it is clear in the situation when Doolittle, Eliza's father, came to his house. Okay, he understood that he came only for money. So what did he do? He told her, okay, when the little came, he told him, I want my daughter and how you keep my daughter and so on. Okay, you want your daughter, take it. So at that moment, the little was puzzled. Wait, let's speak, let's discuss the. So he knew that he came for a money, but he didn't let him use or get benefit from this situation. Expert. Of course, he's expert. Why? Because even Packer came to him from India to meet him because to learn from him. Okay, so he is an expert in his work. Okay, challengeable. How he is a challengeable person? He, when he found that he could teach Eliza, so is a challenge to his ability, whether he would be able to teach her or not. So he is a challengeable person, okay? So he accepted it and was ready to do. Determined, the idea itself to teach Eliza, okay, reflects his determination, okay? Rude, of course, it is clear the way he treated Eliza, the way he, rude and sarcastic had the same examples, okay? Rude to the people, the poor people, and sarcastic to the upper class people, as at Mrs. Higgins' house when criticized the way the people or the upper class speaks and behave or their whole life. Okay, so sarcastic. This is now we have ended our illustration. Of course, of course, if you are in the class, we will find more examples because speaking and discussing together, okay, elaborate or you will find many ideas will pop up. So I want you to study it. How to study it? Okay, I'm going to tell you. First of all, watch the video so you will understand the event of the play. Second, watch this video again, okay? So you will understand how to study, okay? And in a piece of paper, write social study and leave the paper empty, okay? Appearance versus reality, the three themes and the two characters. Female struggle, Eliza, Higgins. Now, the most important thing is to read the play, but reading with focusing on what you are searching for. For example, while reading, if you find a situation that I haven't said but is suitable to be written in social class, write a hint about it. Only a hint. Don't write the whole situation, okay? Write a hint when Eliza مثلا went to Higgins or when and so on. Like a hint to remind yourself that this one is social class, or you can write in the novel itself right beside it S or social class. Okay, so do the same in while reading the three acts. We are going to stop at act 3, not the whole act till she left Mrs. Higgins house. Okay, this is the part that we are going to stop at. Okay, so what you are going to do, you are going to read with aim of what, of getting any situation that's suitable or support your idea, or you do better illustration about the themes or the characters we have discussed. But this is the best way to study the play. Okay, wish you have got benefit from this illustration. Wish you the best of luck and hope you will do well in the exam. Okay, goodbye. This is Mrs. Iman Atif with you.